Hello, welcome out to the Death Battle cast. We are the cast and crew of Death Battle. I'm Ben, I play Wiz.
I'm Noel, and I'm the editor / quirky neighbor that causes all types of mayhem.
Like the kid from Home Alone?
Exactly.
Oh, no. Dennis the Menace.
Sure. I was thinking more Steve Urkel.
I'm Tori, I'm the 3D animator.
Hey, I'm Chad, I play Boomstick. What's up?
And a quick thank you to For Him's Hair Loss for sponsoring this episode of Death Battle Cast. Stick around, we'll have an awesome deal you can get with them later on in the show. All right, guys.
Yes, Ben.
We got Strange vs. Fate coming pretty soon.
Yep.
Oh.
Super exciting. Torian, you did not animate that.
I did not animate that.
But
Do I leave now?
bunch of other animators did. Luis, Caius, Kid, Zach, a bunch of animators who have worked on a lot of other previous death battles in the past, all banded together to make this one happen because the battle is ludicrous. It is so crazy. We've already released the preview for Strange, and we've gotten a little bit into his abilities in that preview. But we left out the best parts, and that'll all be in the full episode that airs not this upcoming week, but next week.
Yep.
Yes. Very
Right?
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Timelines, whenever that happens, June sometime.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Just set that on your calendar.
All right. And also, when that comes out, we will be answering questions like we did with Leon versus Frank. So if there's anything you want us to talk about when it does come out, leave it in the comments. We'll address it right here. But speaking of addressing other things, I've been seeing lately a couple of people wondering like how we establish like certain specifics for analyzing characters, like how we pick out certain sources and like how we address them and stuff like that. So a lot of people are wondering, what are the rules of death battle?
Okay.
I thought it might be good to kind of like at least really briefly cover them.
Sure.
Because they are in every episode, but they're at the very end. And they're only on screen for like maybe a second or two.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because the majority of viewers, I don't think, really care too much. I think it's because a lot of people watch Death Battle just for the entertainment side, and we want to be able to cater to them and to the people who are really into the versus match. So we take the match seriously, but we still have fun with it. That's the whole idea between the dynamic of Wiz and Boomstick.
Yep.
So I figured it'd be good to just kind of go through the rules, especially since they've changed a lot over the years.
Yeah, but do you also think like, so when I watched Death Battle way back when, like if one character lost or something happened or whatever, it's not necessarily like, oh, is that in the rules or whatever, but is there a rule for the specific thing? And then that makes me feel like it broke a rule, right? Because I don't know if like if we introduce some new thing that happened or just some quirky thing or whatever, you're like, oh, that's weird. I wonder if that's in the rules, or in my mind, I've made it up that it should be a rule against it.
That is something that I definitely thought about when making these rules. But actually, before I get to it, before I forget, we do have a community death battle that we'll be talking about later on in the show. This week's is Batman versus Inspector Gadget, and there will be a poll that is up throughout the entire show. If you're watching live as a first member, we do this every single Friday. And you can go to the poll by clicking the link in the chat and vote for who you think should win. And we will discuss that at the end of the show and find out who you guys think should win.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you weren't here.
Yeah, you haven't been on. You've been slaving away at animation right now.
We used to do this over Twitter over the week, but now we're doing it live.
That's cool.
Awesome.
So that's gonna like go up, kind of like when you're at the carnival and you're like filling up like a little water thing with the water gun.
best at
like,
it.
will
Interesting, but yes.
Will it kind of go up like a thermometer as
Yeah,
well?
I'm the
it
best
does.
at that game.
As soon as people start clicking on it and voting.
Yeah, so long as the link is in the chat. I
I'm
don't
about
know if
to
it's here
vote
right now,
right
but
now.
it might be
I am
there.
too.
Okay,
Cool. Then we leave.
so little history on the rules of Death Battle. When we first started the show, I was always kind of against putting too many rules into it because, like,
You don't want to limit it.
well,
Too much.
a big inspiration for this was, for this show way back when, was Deadliest Warrior. I've seen it compared to Deadliest Warrior a lot. And Deadliest Warrior had a ton of rules with how they like judge certain weapons and compare certain fighting abilities and things like that. And going into Death Battle, I was kind of looking at how Deadliest Warrior did it and thought, okay, they're judging humans every single time. Everybody there is still bound by the same laws of gravity,
Right.
same rules of physics.
Right.
We don't have that luxury.
Nope.
We're covering characters from Leon Kennedy, who's like a super agent, to Superman, who flies through space, Goku, who blows up planets. Like, every single episode we do could cover any variety of crazy shit. Strange versus Fate is going to be a perfect example of that when that airs, because that gets bonkers.
Yep.
But, so my thought was, we can't have so many rules that it limits, that basically we run into walls whenever we get into a character that might kind of like not really fit with those rules. So when Death Battle first started, really the only rule was it's got to end in a death. That was really the only rule for the first, I think, 7 episodes.
Wild West.
And that they don't have knowledge of each other.
Yeah, but it wasn't really like, I didn't have that set in stone. I was just kind of like leaving everything else up to, we'll interpret it as what we need to do whenever we get to that episode.
Yeah, I think I remember just having a conversation like way early on that was just like, it's like, if I remember the way we phrased it was like, it's as if we just dropped them into somewhere, right? Which was kind of that mentality of like, they have no knowledge. Right?
But again, like we never came up against a matchup where they would have knowledge.
That's
of each other.
true.
And so if we were to get to that point, while we still had like no rules, then we would figure out what to do then. But now we absolutely do have a rule that's basically, it's the first one. Combatants possess no prior knowledge of each other unless specified by canon or otherwise. And I think that was the first thing added outside of the it has to end on a death. It was that one, and I think that was episode 7 when we first added that. And the general idea is yes, we are literally just dropping them into a fight, no prep time, they don't know what's going on. We literally show it off in Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. He's literally dropped into the world and goes, who am I fighting? I don't know. Oh, it's this pony.
Yeah.
Like, it's a literal interpretation of that rule.
Because the other thing too is like, the main reason we do a lot of this stuff is to just avoid any type of assumption. Like that's our #1 goal, is to get that out of Death Battle as much as possible, right? So like if in prep time, that's like Batman is one of those characters that's like, he'll come up with a solution to any problem as long as you give him enough time chilling in the Batcave. He'll figure it out. He'll create something, and that's just then us just like assuming that Batman's gonna do that, and we'll come up with this perfect match. And it just starts getting this making shit up thing, and it's like we don't need to do that.
Yeah, that was one of the first 2 seasons of Death Battle. Involves a lot of us experiencing these kind of challenges and really kind of fine-tuning the rules. Really, if you look back at season 1 or 2, the rules are slightly different than what they are now in 3, 4, and 5. And Batman, his first matchup against Spider-Man back in season 1 was one of the big challenges where we did have that conversation of, well, should we give him prep time? Like, should he realistically have some sort of preparation before fighting Spider-Man? Nowadays, we totally understand that, yeah, we just drop them in, they just fight like they've never met. But, you know, back in the early days, we didn't know. We were still kind of toying with a bunch of different ideas. But yeah, and that's when I think we really locked down the idea that they just have no prior knowledge. And of course, the second rule is to ensure a fair fight, all moral restraints from killing are ignored. Originally, that one was a lot more broad. And it kind of made Goku versus Superman a little iffy for some people, because we still included, because a lot of people were wondering, like,
The kryptonite thing.
shouldn't Goku kill Superman if he can get kryptonite?
Right.
And that's when, because I don't remember the exact wording that it used to be in season 1 and 2, but basically the way it was
Wasn't it
worded
just
was,
like all battles must result in a death?
yeah,
I think
it was something like anything that stops them from killing the opponent is removed or whatever. Basically, the thing that I had to add later was all other traits are considered, because I don't want to remove the entire personality of the character.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not the character anymore. So we just remove the restraint from killing. So with Goku, he loves fighting an opponent that is their strongest. That's still a thing in Death Battle, but he's gonna murder him. Like when he gets the chance, he's gonna kill him. And that's basically how that one works. The more complicated ones are the last 2. Rule number 3, one that I don't think we even had specifically in seasons 1 and 2. A character's maximum potential is examined unless otherwise specified. Factors unrelated to characters cannot end the battle. So this is one that came up when we started analyzing characters that their timelines were so long that they would eventually get really old, but they would have a lot of interesting things that they would do when they were really old. Interesting feats, interesting like, especially feats of intelligence that they would gain from that age. But when we pit them in battle, we're pitting them against each other in their best physical self.
Right.
So if you do that, do you include everything that they have past that point in their physical age? And we do. That's the general idea. We take everything so that we have them at their literal peak personal potential. All their age, all their physical experience, all of it is wrapped into one sort of composite character using all those, all that material.
Because otherwise, like a lot of times, the reason we do this is because we'll see people say like, oh, but if in this scenario, had you given him like, and our goal is to like try and get rid of as much as that as possible. And so like trying to answer as many questions, and this just helps us knock out a bunch of those scenarios where had he had this, and it makes it for a lot more coherent and easy to follow.
Now, you'll notice that some of these do mention, actually they don't anymore. Oh yes, it does. Do mention unless specified, and all these rules, except for the death one, can be subverted if we specify it. Like maybe we will take a character at a specific point in their timeline, at a specific age or whatever. But generally we don't do that because by limiting a character, we've talked about this before, by limiting a character to a specific point in their timeline, unless there's a reason behind it, that's a form of bias. We are removing aspects of that character for the fight, which we don't want to necessarily do, especially with like a match that is more broad or has a broader audience. Because again, I always go back to Goku because he's such a perfect example. When we did Goku vs. Superman, the newer movies and Super had not come out yet. So the most powerful form he had available was Super Saiyan 4, which a lot of people thought was like not canon.
GT, it's not canon.
Like.
Fuck GT.
But we still included it because if we hadn't and then Goku lost,
all we would have heard.
Everybody would have just asked, well, what if he went Super Saiyan 4?
Yep.
So maximum potential is Super Saiyan 4, even though it's kind of iffy whether or not people wanted to see that.
So you're kind of like, that's kind of where you like kind of put your foot down, right? Because you like,
sort of, I guess.
like half the people would have been like, oh no, you didn't use Super Saiyan 4, but then the other half of the people was like, oh no, you used Super Saiyan 4. And you guys are like, look.
You damned if you do.
This is what we're doing. We're using Super Saiyan 4. And,
but I mean, we obviously want to show off the stuff that people want to see. So in the fight, we had Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, we're basically, one of the main intentions behind the rules is to try to set up a scenario where we can answer as many questions as possible before they're asked. That's the
Also,
idea.
Oh, yes.
Like yours, maybe?
You raising your hand
See if we already answered.
Also, no shade, no tea, and spoilers, it really didn't fucking matter if you had Super Saiyan 4 or not.
Well, that really helps out too. So.
Well, I think we should give the fight no one wants to see. So it's like with Batman, we have him show up with Spider-Man, and he's like, I gotta go do prep time. And then we watch him for 30 minutes in the Batcave. We listen to his Spotify playlist. We really figure out who Batman is. He's just sitting there.
Cooking breakfast.
He's got some bitchin' speakers in the Batcave, man.
What does Batman do as he's preparing for a Spider-Man fight?
Research.
Cry.
We get to see his tabs.
He has a spider bite him.
We get to see his like
how it
history.
works.
He's just got like a bunch of tanks full of spiders, analyzing them all.
Tapping on the glass, irradiating them. You know, it's just like,
Alfred,
that's
what
what
is
we
a
should
spider
do.
doing now?
you know, Alfred, come here. What? Hold out your hand. You know, like, feel anything? You know, like, no, Master Bruce.
And then, like, when
why did you have a spider bite me?
And then when he's like finally ready, he shows up. It's like, yeah, I'm ready to take you down. And then like Peter just shows up with like a new suit from Iron Man. Like he built this in a day. He was like, isn't it cool? All right, let's go.
And he's like, I gotta go.
I gotta go back.
I'll be right back. He gets nothing done. Gotham goes down the tube, crime ridden everywhere.
Yeah.
All the criminals are out of Arkham. He's just like, hey, I gotta take care of the Spider-Man.
I have to
dude.
kill another hero.
I got
The
shit to do.
entertainment of the internet.
See, that's the fight we should really show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Where they're
Ben,
just preparing.
That's it.
a great
Training,
example of this too is like
montage.
when we run into characters that become gods later on in their story. You know, like where sometimes when we'll be like, all right, like for example, Spawn. Like when we're looking at Spawn, it's like, oh, Spawn becomes like a literal like reality warping god. Like he can think people in and out of existence, right? And it's like, where's the fun in that? You know? Like,
See, that one was ages ago, so
Right.
the rules have changed dramatically since then. But I do remember thinking that was one of the, again, going back to those challenges of the first season or two, that was one of those big challenges where Spawn is like a god, and I'm thinking if we talk about this, where he's just like literally rewriting reality, it's gonna be kind of obvious that he wins. So I don't really want to really go into too much detail, but we can't ignore it.
right.
Thankfully, Spawn wins that matchup.
Right.
Spoiler.
Oh,
If he hadn't, though, then I would have been really concerned about how we were going to address the godhood status that he eventually reaches and then does give up.
Right.
Because he does give it up, it kind of gave us a reason to stick with the Spawn that people that people know, that people recognize, and that's
right.
also another aspect of it. Like sometimes when we do, especially back in the first season, we would do characters that people would recognize more than what the characters' maximum potential were necessarily at the time. Rogue is a good example. The third episode ever that we ever did. Terrible now, but if you look back on it, I've mentioned before how I hate all the season 1 episodes because my animation is shit.
By the way, no, speaking of Kratos versus Spawn, out of every sprite we've ever used in a death battle, Ben hates the Kratos sprite the most.
Yeah.
They're like the most low-res, blurry-ass
they were
sprites.
terrible.
There's a couple scenes where you just zoom in on Kratos for his reaction, and he's just like this blurred monster, and Ben hates it so much.
Yeah.
Like, you zoom in.
Is it like what the MCU does to their characters, right? 'Cause, like, take example like Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is like probably one of the most powerful ones in that whole group, if not the most powerful one. But in the movies, they kind of like tone her down a little bit.
They kind of still make her very powerful. though.
Because like Scarlet Witch can almost think Thanos like out of existence or like reality warp him.
In the comics,
Yeah.
she's got some.
Yeah, she's
reality
ridiculous.
now.
Like,
So you specifically what you're talking about is us picking a version of that. Like if Scarlet Witch were to come into.
well,
Death
just
Battle,
like
we
how
might
they
pick a
like. I
version
feel
of
like
her.
everyone knows that about Scarlet Witch, but is okay with how she's represented in the movies, right? She's more like a telekinetic kind of like.
Yeah, I mean that's
fighter.
more of the environment that the movies have created.
Sure.
That she just fits into better.
Yeah.
If they were to throw Scarlet Witch like straight from the comics into those movies,
Oh, yeah.
leotard and headdress and everything,
I'd like to see that.
It would not fit at all. It might be pretty sexy,
Oh,
but
They would win
Wouldn't
instantly
fit at
though.
all.
Like they wouldn't have any enemies. They would win instantly.
you went where I
But
went.
they also like
my
they
head.
gave it a little nod in Infinity War, and this is not really gonna be spoilers, but like she's so worried about Paul Bettany, you know, that's why she's out for a while, and then like she's like, I gotta go kick some ass, and they even have that little note. It's like, why the fuck was she just chilling?
Yeah,
you know,
upstairs,
Yeah,
relaxing
exactly.
with the AC. We out here in Wakanda.
There's a little nod to it.
Also, the only person really fighting with Thanos and his minions.
At the
Everybody else
end.
was getting their ass whooped.
What? Why-
Everybody else was getting their ass
spoiler
whooped.
territory. We're gonna hold off on that because that's still in theaters.
It's been a few weeks, but all right, yeah, I got it. But no, we didn't drop any major notes.
You haven't
That was
cried
just-
yet because of Infinity War.
Just a little. Anyway,
I mean, you should go see it. It's pretty good.
Well,
It's
it feels so
amazing.
good.
God damn it. I mean, that's everybody's seen that by now. Like the whole movie's
plus that
spoiled.
doesn't spoil anything.
The whole movie's spoiled.
Anyway, Scarlet Witch was kicking ass and it was awesome.
Take names? No.
And everybody else
How
was
does this
just-
relate to the rules?
I don't know.
Still
Rule
haven't
number
talked
4,
about the
Ben.
last one. Rule number 4 is probably the one that I get the most questions about, as all official material related to a character is applied unless found contradictory to the original source material. This one's. I understand that this one is very confusing when you first read it because a lot of people, especially in the Versus community, they prefer to go with either you composite all the characters at once or you stick to one timeline, one canon timeline.
I mean, this pretty much just says things that are not canon you don't use.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
Contradictory.
it's we consider all material and then see if it's reasonable.
The
like-
thing is,
okay.
the thing is with Death Battles that we target it to a much broader audience than just one like Versus community
Sure.
or just the Marvel community or anything like that. So I want to make sure that our viewers and people who are watching, when we represent a character, they recognize that character. They are excited about what they see.
Right.
And if we put, say, Wolverine in a death battle and we don't show Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, then everybody's gonna go like, well, what the fuck? You missed out on all that Hugh Jackman stuff.
He is the sexiest one.
Yeah, you missed out on the
Good-looking man.
sexiest version
Is there
of
any-
Wolverine.
is there
and
any-
he just keeps getting
I mean,
more
really, it's
shredded
gotta
as
be
he
like-
ages. How does
Every
that
other
work?
Wolverine's just a
We're
like
just putting the
short,
tabs,
hairy
sexiest
monster.
That is true.
But so targeting a broader idea of what the character is what Death Battle generally tries to hit. But we still want to make sure we understand the difference between what is canon and what is not. So we do stick to a single canon material as our primary source. And if there are other examples of the character performing a feat that the primary source character can do, then that can also be, it's basically supporting evidence. That's the best way to describe it.
Like Girl Thor and Guy Thor. Like Girl Thor can do.
No, not like that at all.
Kind of like Jotaro.
Not like that at all.
Kind of like Jotaro.
I mean,
with
you can
his-
scale them together because they're using
Right,
the
but
same
isn't
powers.
like
But
the
it's
powers
that's
of
different.
Thor similar, or does she has like vastly different powers than him?
She's similar, but like that's a different scenario. That's scaling characters. They're still in the same timeline.
I see.
You can scale them because they have the same powers. Goku,
It's not a
Vegeta,
different version of the
Superman,
same character.
Bizarro, etc.
Got you.
But Thor from the comic versus Thor from the movies. That's actually a really good comparison. So Thor from the comic versus Thor from the movies. When we did Thor originally, we did show him destroying the Bifrost in the movie as one of our feats because like the Thor in the comics could do that.
Right.
Now it might be different because the Thor in the movies is like the thunder god with lightning powers himself. Like he doesn't need Mjolnir. He's different from the Thor in the canon material. So we're not going to use that if we analyze Thor again.
Was that not the case in the comics?
No, he gets a lot of his powers from Mjolnir.
The hammer,
if I remember
like
right.
specifically.
Yes.
Because when I watched that,
Because Mjolnir has the powers of a storm within it.
sure, but when I watched that and they did that in the movies, I was like, finally. Like I feel like
Okay.
I remember that in the comics.
You mean like when
where
says
he just
in
doesn't need
Ragnarok?
that.
I'm sure there was.
He gets
Yeah.
There are certain power boosts that he gets in the comics that are not from the hammer, that are from within himself. That I think the movie version was like referencing, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Weirdly enough, as a kid, like I vaguely remember Thor having the hammer. Like every time I read Thor or whatever, like
he punching people?
He wasn't using it. He was just flying around doing thunder stuff.
I mean,
It must be like really.
you might be remembering a point in the comics where he throws the hammer
throws
somewhere
it.
and is fighting. It's like,
just
oh shit, I
leaves
only
it.
have 60 seconds until I lose my Thor powers, and then he's got to go get the hammer.
Yeah.
Like that might be what you're.
Thor was
remembering.
like one of the few comics I actually did keep up with as a kid, but.
But anyway, that's the rules of Death Battle. That's like all we really try to stick to for every single episode. Outside of that, as far as I'm concerned, every episode is its own entity that looks at each character on its own. If we start an episode on Leon Kennedy or whatever, or maybe that's a bad example. If we start an episode on Batman Beyond, we don't necessarily go back to Batman versus Spider-Man and go, okay, this is what we applied to that episode, this is what we did, this is what we found, so we can just take that and put it in Batman Beyond.
Wait a
We
minute.
don't. We start from scratch every single time, just so that we always know that we're looking into everything all at once, without no cliff notes, basically.
Was there no outside help rule on that board?
There is no outside help rule.
Oh,
Kind of.
snap!
But there is in certain situations.
What? I've been tricked!
So okay,
This
on the
whole
board,
time.
No. It is sort of. It is sort of.
four rules there, Ben.
There is. Remember the third rule, though.
I thought I was going crazy. I was like, wait a
The
minute.
third rule is a character's maximum potential is examined unless otherwise specified. Factors unrelated to characters cannot end the battle.
You clever shrew.
So
What'd you call him?
Sit out.
Did you call him?
Yeah, take that. You haven't heard it been called a shrew
Shrew now.
since like the 40s.
You ne'er-do-well?
Yeah.
You clever shrew. Okay, all right, you win.
Well, that is specifically worded because saying no outside help just on its own is too broad for Death Battle. There are certain
Right.
characters that
Right.
technically have some form of outside help as part of their arsenal. Solid Snake is an excellent example.
And then the outside help could help them learn who the other person was, depending on what it is.
Sure.
Oh man, these rules.
That's why the rule says combatants possess no prior knowledge.
You see this? You guys.
He's shrewing it pretty hard, Torian.
What a
Been
rap
making that
stallion.
for like
I'm
most
gonna bring.
years.
I'm gonna.
Time
Shrew it for a long
I'm
time.
gonna bring my lawyer. These loopholes.
No, these rules are the result of several years of doing specifically season 1 and 2 and seeing how people would react to certain ways that we presented characters and really fine-tuning the rules so that in season 3 and on, we've really got it down at this point.
Yeah, what if
we can just sit
someone really
down and
brings a
make this
lawyer?
happen.
Someone really brings a lawyer and we get summoned and like the lawyer's just going through the rules and finding like loopholes. He has these documents. It's 4 rules, but he has like 50-page document outlined and highlighted.
You've been
And then at
saying
the
it.
end, it's just because that's why Goku should have beat Superman.
So good. Oh, see, that's rich billionaire stuff. Like to like sue us
Just
and go
watch that
through all
video?
this trouble just to
Fuck
prove
them.
that point.
Yeah, like, I'll ruin them. And that
I would do
clever
that in a
shrew.
heartbeat as a rich
Man.
billionaire.
All right, well, that's the rules, and hopefully that all makes sense. If you've got a question, you can absolutely let me know in the chat or send us a tweet on Twitter, and we'll be happy to clarify anything that you want to know more about. But we got to move on to our middle segment and find out what's going on. Torian, do you know what's coming up?
I thought that was a mistake.
Well, you're going to have to wait just a moment
How
because
did you think
before
that was
we
a
get into what's
mistake?
going on, I
How
got to
was that
tell
a
you what's
mistake?
going on with our wonderful sponsor, Noel Wiggins. All right.
Take over.
So, here's the deal. When it comes to taking care of your body, it can be easy to ignore things as opposed to going to the doctor, right? So maybe you're embarrassed or you think that there's like no solution to your problem. Well, today I want to tell you guys about Hims, forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, sexual wellness for men. Specifically, today we're going to talk about hair loss. So, I don't know if you guys know, but 66% of men start losing their hair by age 35, and Hims wants to help. They offer medical-grade solutions with real doctors, and they offer well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help keep your hair. There's no waiting room, so you save time, and you get to talk with a real doctor from the comfort of your own home. You'll be connected with a certified doctor online, and after a few quick questions and review by the doctor, they can prescribe you, and it's delivered directly to your door. So I got a chance to, I talked about this a little before, but I got to get on a call with one of the founders of For Hims, and kind of their motivation for everything is really on what I touched on just a second ago, where it's like, maybe people are embarrassed about going to the doctor, or, they think there's no solution. And this is not to say, like, don't go see a doctor. You absolutely should do that. But, like, if you're one of those people that you're kind of uncomfortable or whatever, like, they provide us a service that could be beneficial for you. So as a Death Battle Cast viewer, you can get a trial month of everything you need to keep your hair for just $5 right now while supplies last. So see the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the traditional doctor. Just head to forhims.com/cast. That's forhims.com/cast. forhims/cast. Thanks, Hims.
All right.
Yeah.
Cast.
He used my full name. I feel like I was in trouble with my mom.
That's because I was
oh my God.
I was trying to introduce our wonderful sponsor who, helps keep this show going, and you were just talking away.
Thanks for him.
Yeah,
audience-
this isn't the first time they've sponsored us. They've been doing this for a while, which is great.
Yeah.
If the
really
audience
appreciate that.
helps Deadpool or Pinkie Pie, does that count as outside help?
What?
Like if the audience jumped
Deadpool
into
and Pinkie
it.
Pie are their own
if
fucking entities.
but
with
like
their
if they
goddamn
address the
fourth wall
audience,
bullshit.
which is well within their character.
The whole idea behind Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie was that they could break the rules.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened in that episode.
You're gonna get. I'm gonna.
You're gonna
get.
what a
summoned.
shrew.
Well, Torian, you've been trying to get Ben this whole time. I
You're gonna
think
get summoned.
Ben might
Yeah,
have
I
something.
think
that
I've
he's
got
gonna-
something for you.
I like I'm just trying to poke holes in my own show.
Well,
Have you read the
He did.
progress
I thought
bar?
it was a mistake.
he thought it was a mistake,
How?
but it's true. The long-awaited Trivia with Torian has returned in celebration of Solo coming out.
Yes.
Yes.
But I haven't seen the movie.
down.
We're not gonna quiz you on Solo. Don't worry, no.
Oh.
It
spoilers.
doesn't matter whether or not you've seen the movie.
What did that mean?
I just want to know how much you know about Star Wars.
Which we already know is not
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
Tell him what he's won.
Let's get this started
So
off
I have
on the
a
right
little,
foot. I didn't even notice your shirt was Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm all prepared for
He's
this.
so ready to go.
All right, so I've got 10 questions for you.
I got a Star Wars.
Name all the characters on Ben's shirt. No,
You know who this is?
Yeah, that's Oh no.
no you
That's
don't.
Luke.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Luke
Who's
what?
this
Luke
one
what?
though? Who's this one?
Yeah.
I was about to say
This
Anakin.
one is a Star Wars character.
He almost said Anakin.
Which one is this
Alright,
one? That's a
technically-
Star Wars character.
God damn it!
Which
Technically,
one is,
Noelle is
which
right.
one is that one? A Star Wars character.
That's Donald Glover. What are you doing? What's
Yeah.
happening here?
Who is?
Star Wars character.
That's Troy from Community.
Yes,
right,
but it's a Star Wars dude.
All right, let's get
Childish
to the actual.
Gambino.
Let's get to the actual questions.
All right, fine.
So it's going to be a slideshow format. We'll bring it up, and if you want to play along at home, you can too, if you want.
What?
So let's go ahead and bring up the first one. See what you got. First one is.
Ben Singer.
Oh, it's up behind us.
Oh,
Oh.
I was waiting for it to appear over here, but it's back here.
Okay.
Which of these is Han Solo's ship, and what is it called?
Oh, the Millennium
This
Falcon.
is a throwaway. You
Okay.
gotta know this one.
Yeah.
Which one is the Millennium Falcon?
It's the one. It's C.
Okay,
All right,
good.
nailed it.
Wait,
got
that
it.
one.
Wait,
looks
so what is
vaguely-
that
I was just
one?
about to say that one looks vaguely like the Millennium Falcon.
what is D then?
I don't know. I just looked it up.
What?
It's not from Star Wars.
What?
It's just some random generic thing that I found online.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
That one on the top.
That picture has to have a tag though.
Here. B is Ebon Hawk, A is the Outrider, C is Millennium Falcon, D is just some random wallpaper you can
No,
find.
no.
Wait,
You don't know it.
What? Wait, so how come all these pictures are super badass? Because the star's in the background, but the right one is like the wackest one ever with like the toy? Why? Why couldn't you find like a cooler Millennium Falcon? I'm just worried about that.
Really about
glowing.
Ben's internet. use.
Because this was the one that I wanted to judge his level.
I see
of
what
Star
you
Wars,
did.
You know, knowledge.
Starting out with the easy one.
Yeah, so we can go on
was
to the
a
next
throwaway.
one.
That was a $100 question.
Who dat?
Who this be?
That's Boba Fett.
All right.
Is it?
Cool, 2.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're right.
Jango
Damn.
What?
Boba
tricked
Fett.
me.
Boba Fett has the dent in his helmet.
right, he
and the
does.
What do you mean a
scratches.
dent in it from what?
Everybody got that wrong.
Yeah, I know. I got it wrong because you graded out.
What the? What dent?
Boba Fett has a dent in his helmet. His helmet's all fucked up.
What? He doesn't do anything.
Combat.
He's a bounty hunter.
He's a bounty hunter. He fights people all the time.
he-
When
calls
is
the
he
cops
fought?
on
He's
people.
only fell into the worm thing.
Before we see him. We never get to see
There's
him
no
do
proof of
anything
that then.
badass.
No proof
He
of
just dented his helmet like before Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
like,
this will make me look
this'll
I
make
thought
you look
if there
badass.
is
Yeah,
if
not
like there's any battle damage on Boba Fett, I thought it was from when he got eaten by the worm thing. By the worm thing in
After
it.
that,
Sorry.
we never see him again.
Hold on. I almost said it, but what's the...
The Sarlacc.
Yeah.
Sarlacc?
Yeah.
Sarlacc?
Hey, you know more than I thought.
All right,
All right.
you're good, you're good.
Let's go.
right.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
then I'm curious how this is gonna go. So you got 1 and 1.
It's pop culture.
Let's go on to the third one.
It's everywhere. I don't even have to watch these
The
movies.
third Star Wars movie release was called.
He's never gonna get it.
This is multiple choice.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about episode 3 or the third one
The
that they
third
made?
Star Wars movie.
That was
they made?
ever released.
The third one that they
third
made.
Read the
Yes,
question.
the third one that they made.
Oh, it's Revenge of the Sith. What? Oh, you know what? I thought that was the second one.
Released. Released. Wait,
That's
what'd
still
you say?
fucking wrong. It's Return of the Jedi.
I thought that was the second.
Can you name? Wait, hold on.
Thought that was the
name
second
one.
name
Oh, no.
any of the names of the original
This isn't
three.
fair.
Besides Return of the Jedi, you got 2 other chances. Just
Return of the Jedi.
what?
You just said any.
Can you name
Move
one?
on.
I said
No.
any except for Return
Right,
of the Jedi.
1 or 2? Can you name 1 or 2?
There are 2
You-
What's
others.
the most recent one?
Wait, okay. Wait a minute.
No, that's a different
Wait
question.
a minute.
Keep it focused. Of the original trilogy,
The original trilogy.
besides
So is
Return
this
of the Jedi.
is this the third trilogy?
I literally
No.
just
The
said
new
name of
movies?
one.
No, the
Like 5
very
seconds
first
ago.
ones that came out in the 70s.
It is. This is the third trilogy. The new movie.
The new movies.
Yes, good job, Torian.
Yeah, he's a no.
Congratulations.
No, wait, I'm giving you I want the original trilogy that was released. You got 2 other names.
Isn't like A New Hope one of the first ones?
Got it! He did it! He did it! A New
You can
Hope.
do this.
That's the very first movie. You gotta
But
give me
was it-
more credit.
No,
Yeah,
correct me if
come
I'm
on.
wrong. Was it technically the original name
See?
for that? Like, wasn't it just?
That's what I'm
was the
saying.
Star
That wasn't the first one. Wait,
It was.
wait, it is the first
Okay.
one, but it's like episode what?
We got.
Six?
We got to move.
The episode number is different. It's not 1.
That is true.
That's true.
Aha! Don't try to.
No.
It's not my fault they
Sorry,
don't know how to
you-
number
you-
shit.
Well, you can actually figure this out because you have named how many trilogies there are.
Wait,
This requires math, but very minimal.
okay, wait.
Quick math.
So episode 1 is
2 plus 2 is 4.
the first movie is
Oh,
not
no.
episode 1. It's episode.
How do trilogies work?
It's episode 3.
No!
Episode 2.
You're going backwards!
Episode 6.
You're getting colder. Oh.
Jesus, and then he just skipped that. He's just dancing all around it.
What is it then?
Wait, are you talking about this one?
What number did they
Are you talking
name
about
the
this one?
first movie instead of 1?
Think about how trilogies work.
That's not helping me.
Where would it?
Why wouldn't they name the first movie 1?
Okay.
Star Wars!
You're all laughing. You
One.
can't answer me.
Okay. Torian.
If I made the first book
Torian,
in a
hang
trilogy,
on.
it would be my first
Let me.
book.
Let me.
And it would be Torian's memoir, book 1. Not book 3, because I've only made 1 book.
But hey, what if you planned to make a trilogy before that?
I plan to make 3 books, but this is my first book, so this is Torian's memoir, book 1. Now when I get to 3,
All right,
There's a
it
reason
will
why.
be book 3.
There's
right?
a reason
I'm
why.
gonna logic.
Hold on. What if you decided to start writing in the middle?
What?
Just
There's a reason.
bear
for
with
it.
me here.
No. Better way to. What if you do write a whole story and then you bring it to your producer and the producer's like, I like this, but only from the middle onward.
That's dumb. That's his fault.
But then you can. The only way for you to make your story is to go from the middle onward. But you still want to make.
So
the
why
first-
wouldn't I just take the middle, rewrite it as the first one,
There's a reason.
and call it 1?
Because that's
Right.
when it got exciting. It's still the same.
All right, Torian.
reason.
So the
What is
first
the la-
movie
what is-
starts in the middle of a
What is
story?
the last episode in the first trilogy? What is the last episode?
Trilogy.
In the first trilogy.
Trilogy.
Revenge of the Sith?
How many episodes are
by
there?
What
number.
episode?
By number.
By number.
What's the
3.
number?
Episode.
Yes.
So what is the first one of the second trilogy?
Oh, I don't know.
What?
Oh my God!
Is it 3?
Jesus Christ!
Is it 1? It's 1.
Okay. I kind
This
of
is
see
con-
what's going through his head.
this
Like he
is
thinks maybe the
confusing.
trilogy starts in the middle
You
of the other
asked
trilogy.
me
Okay, so
the number 3, and it was like, what's the first one in the
of
second
the
trilogy?
second trilogy,
Next
the
question.
very beginning. No, we will solve this.
Let's
No, we
move
won't.
on. We
Second
need to move on.
My logic is sound.
No.
Okay.
His first thing should have been 1.
There's a reason why he didn't start.
What is happening?
Apparently, we just have a screen sound
Okay,
effect.
hey, which one is a Wampa?
Oh shit. It's not the last one. I know who that guy is.
Who is that?
It's not B, because that's Chewie. Well, someone looks like Chewie, or
Okay.
one of his race, or an older Chewie, or another Chewie.
Are you saying chili?
No.
I'm gonna say the Wampa sounds like something that you would ride, but I feel like that's a trick.
I see where you going.
It's a trick. But this one looks like it's about to womp somebody with this thing.
I see where you going.
Like whack, womp, right?
What's your
Okay.
answer?
So which
I'm gonna
one?
go with C.
Oh,
Oh no!
You were
You were
so
so close.
You were so close.
Oh no!
I thought you were gonna get it.
That doesn't look like something you can ride. Wampa,
But
right?
I really want
Horse. You ride horses.
your reasoning
Horse?
about
I
wamping
don't-
someone. I really want that to actually be the history behind.
Why is it
that
called
name.
a Wampa?
I mean,
Just go wampa your ass.
It actually might be, because the reason why the Wampa is in the movie is because Mark Hamill got into a car accident,
Exactly.
which scarred up his face. So at the beginning of the movie, they have the Wampa whomp him in the face to create the scar.
Oh, that's kind of
See,
clever.
You were on the right track.
They're clever.
You doubted yourself.
Dang.
Congratulations.
This sounds like something you
All
would
right.
ride.
Tori,
You're so close.
Tori.
I'm about to ride this Wampa.
It's a
no, this
mountain?
is actually very
That's
important.
true,
For
that's
this next question, trust your gut. Let's see what the next one is. What is this ship called?
Oh no.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut. What is it called?
Come on. There's no fucking way.
It's like a R-wing or something.
Jeez.
Star Fox? Are we
Star
talking Star Fox right now? Are we really talking Star Fox?
X-wing. Sorry.
Excellent, you got it.
Sorry.
What is it? Okay.
Sorry. X-wing.
X-wing.
I got that. No.
Okay.
I was close. It was different
Okay,
letters.
Tori.
I love that you even.
It was
Tori.
different letters.
There's more to this question.
Oh, it's because it looked like an X.
What is this next ship called? What is this called?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
No. Think about it.
Wait a minute.
Trust your gut.
I don't
Is this
even
a
know what
toy?
this one's called.
Think
I don't
about
even
it.
know.
You don't.
I don't even know what this one's
I
called.
don't know what it's called.
There's a very
I've never seen this
simple
before.
pattern to Star Wars ships.
Triangle wing? Wedge wing.
Bring it up. Just
I
bring
know.
it
Hold
up.
on.
you going?
I got it.
A-wing.
A-wing. Because it's shaped
You
like
turned
an
it
A.
sideways.
How is that an A though?
That was like a less than
Like that
sign.
could have been a V wing.
That was
could have
less
been.
than.
Okay.
Real quick.
These,
Tori,
flying
these rebel
V?
ships are named after letters.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Hold on. Wait, real fast.
That's not shaped
Do
like an
you
A.
know why Wedge Wing was at least closer? No, there's no way he's gonna.
Because it's a triangle.
It's a-
It's a
Wedge
triangle.
doesn't pilot an A-wing either.
yeah.
So.
I know he doesn't pilot an
Anyway,
A-wing, but he's
next
a pilot.
one. What is this ship called? You got to
Oh.
get it now.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now just context clues.
Context clues.
Can't wait.
Can you get this
Deduction.
one?
This is. Oh, this. I feel like it's a trick though.
Trust your gut.
This is,
I know exactly
Trust
what
your
he's gonna
gut.
say.
Do you know what I'm gonna? So now I'm gonna change what I was gonna say.
Just trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut.
What is it?
I don't know what letter looks like this.
Go through the letters.
A, B, C, D.
Keep it going. Say it faster. Say it faster.
It could be a weird E. You see F.
Say it faster.
Oh wait a minute. This is an H-wing.
I knew
There
it.
you go.
I fucking
There you
knew that you
go.
were gonna say it.
There you go.
I almost went up to the camera and mouthed it.
Damn it.
God damn it. What?
Oh, it's a Y-wing!
I
No.
was-
Hey, right before it came up, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is a Y.
Okay.
What?
What
Okay.
kind of H do you have?
I thought it was like a lowercase, but they were getting freaky. They were taking like the stem and putting it in the middle because it's like a fantasy, right? It's a space fantasy.
Okay, it's not that tricky. It's not that tricky. So they're capitalized letters, right? That's what the ships are named with.
Oh, it's capitalized letters.
You get the
Oh, I thought that
pattern
was a
with these
lower.
ships?
I thought that was
It was in
lowercase.
cursive. Don't worry. It's
Okay,
cursive.
point is you get the
Good.
pattern now, right?
Yes.
You understand the pattern.
Maybe.
All right. There's one more ship.
You're gonna switch it up.
There's one more ship. Let's see what it is. I want you to see what this one is.
Why
What is this ship
shit?
called?
Oh, okay, come on. That's
What letter?
this too. This is a trap. It's a trap like that weird alien thing. This is a trap,
I'm just gonna write this down.
right? The alien thing that says the trap.
I'm gonna write down what.
Alien thing. He was like, this. Is,
What is the ship called?
Hang on.
oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. That's a trivia for you.
What?
What's the alien thing? He's like, it's a trap. It's a trap.
I'll say
Oh.
it. He'll know it.
That might actually be. No, actually, that was going to be a question, but it's not.
What is it?
Do you know who he is?
Do you know? This is a question I'm
Of
asking you.
course we know who he is.
Are you saying
No,
what
no,
race?
no, no, no. Don't save him.
You want me to answer who is the meme of
Yep.
It's a Trap.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know who he is?
No, I mean, see why you
No, I just want a yes or no.
Why you deflecting?
I just want a yes or no.
Why you giving your brain time to think?
I just want a yes or
You
no.
got the shirt on.
Torian doesn't know.
Who is it?
It's Akbar.
I know it's
Admiral-
Akbar.
Admiral Akbar.
Yes.
All right,
Let's go.
let's see.
See? You want that?
No,
you're saying
that's not.
a
I
C?
said let's see. It's like this clearly
So, give an answer.
looks
What do you think
like
it is?
it looks like a T, but that's too.
I think it's a
easy.
T-wing.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm so confused. You said capital letters. What capital letter looks like this? You lied to me.
I said that the names of the ship start with capital letters.
What?
That's what I said.
super specific.
That's what I said. You can look back. That's what I said.
But I can't see the name of the ship to know what capital letter it is.
It's a capital
But
letter.
that doesn't
sometime.
help me. The names
just
of people
guess.
in this room have capital letters.
Just
Yes.
guess.
That's what you just said.
Just
Take
guess.
it. Just take it.
I don't know. I don't know. We already did.
We already said it. Yeah.
It
It could only be.
could only be in. I'm just gonna say X again.
All right, let's bring up the answer.
Okay, real quick, before we bring it up, I want to fucking show you. Come here. I called
beam?
it. X-Wing 2 is what I wrote down on my phone. I nailed it. What he would guess.
This
All
is a B?
It's a B-wing.
That's not fair.
I know.
That's not.
I knew
Yeah, it
you were
doesn't make any sense.
That's not- you
It's
just-
named after the guy who made it.
I was thinking
like in
T-wing.
real life.
You just did that. I was thinking
I thought it
T-wing
was
too,
T-wing.
but I was like, capital T doesn't look like that. Like that's not a capital T.
You social engineered this one.
All right,
That was fair.
moving on.
That was a dickish
Oh,
one.
there's more. Oh no.
How old is this character?
How old is this character?
Yes.
What kind of question is
Even
that?
everybody was like, ooh.
In canon, how old is
I
this
have
character?
no idea.
It's actually kind of important to the story. Otherwise, another part of the story gets really weird.
Okay, come on, help me out. Give me something. Give me something.
She's either really young or really old.
Are we still on Star Wars?
He's like, I love
track.
Memoirs of a Geisha. It's a great movie.
Like I thought we went to kung fu movies, and I was like, yeah, this is my jam.
Didn't you
This is
see
my
this
jam.
movie? This is from Phantom Menace.
Oh, I didn't see Phantom Menace.
Which episode is Phantom?
I didn't see Phantom Menace. That's part of the movies you guys.
Also-
Okay, just best guess. Just you look at her. What's your best guess?
She's like, I don't know, maybe like 100.
100.
Because it's like it's a fantasy, right?
Okay. Let's bring up the age.
She can be any age. Oh,
She's 14.
That's close.
there was no tricks there.
That was a hard
That
one.
was just like a young kid. That's a young kid.
Yeah, but like she meets Anakin when he's a kid,
Who is
and then
that?
they fall in love and bang. That'd be a little awkward if he was 10 and she was 100.
Who is that?
I don't know.
What?
Meets Anakin.
Yeah.
She meets Anakin.
Yeah.
They fall in love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God. Really?
And even, I'll even settle for what's her social status.
What's her social status? Like she's on Facebook or something?
Yeah. Like she checked in.
Like what is this guy? What is he doing? What is
Checked
he
in
saying?
at Applebee's.
Her title.
Where she works?
Her rank.
Yeah, what's?
She like a
Either of them. There are two big.
14 years old, like 14.
Like
the story.
this 14.
Okay. And she's a kid.
Played by Natalie Portman when she was 16 or
and
17.
she hangs out with Anakin,
Yes.
who is important.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Whoa.
she's a general.
Okay.
At 14?
What? Making sounds now.
No.
What
She's
is
the
she?
queen.
Oh, okay.
And then she becomes senator.
I was close.
All right, next question. We gotta move
That
on.
was weird. Why did
All
you-
right, which one of these is R2D2?
Oh my god. I think. Am I gonna pick like a bunch of them?
Just pick one.
The right one.
What?
What do you
Gotta pick
mean?
the right one.
Pick
The
the
only
right
one.
one. It's E.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you might get this
All
one.
right,
Good
yeah.
job. Good job. You got one. That's
I
what,
thought
2
that
out
was
of
like
10 or
different
whatever?
like models of him.
All right, you got that one. Let's go on to the next one. Finish the quote. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're,
A wizard.
Good choice on this one.
Is it like
You're a
one word or a
wizard.
phrase?
it could be either.
What? Don't,
You're a wizard.
I'm not gonna
That's how you do
right.
it in Wheel of Fortune.
We're not playing Wheel of Fortune.
He's like, is it one
Would you
word
like to
or a
solve the
phrase?
puzzle?
It could be either.
Would you like
and
to
it's
solve
like
the
4
puzzle?
squares.
Just finish it.
it is. It's so iconic.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're. I don't. That small space makes me think it's a word, but that just will sound.
It's a few
Just
words.
to fit in one line.
That's bad on your
Can I get him? Can I tell him? Can I tell him how many words it is?
bad graphic.
3 words, Torian.
3 words.
It's 3. You're. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're.
A wizard, Harry.
He almost said sorcerer when I quizzed him on that one.
You're the sword hat. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're...
There's a segment where it's literally broken, and
What are they
R2
doing?
plays it
Give me
over
that.
and over again.
What, the context?
RT plays it.
R-
What?
R2D2 plays
Oh,
this
okay.
over and over and over again.
Right.
It's a whole scene. That's all about it.
Oh, is it our only hope? Our last hope? The hope.
You're so close.
Man,
No.
so close.
So close.
Oh, come on!
Can we give it to him on
I say
technicality?
give it to
Yeah.
him.
My
he
only
gets,
hope.
He gets 2/3 of a point.
Yeah.
You got it.
Two-thirds
You
of a
got
point.
it. You
Got it.
got it.
You got it. Rounding up, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good job.
That's more than 3 words.
Who said it?
The Yor was already there.
Yeah.
Who said it?
Bad graphic design.
Who said it?
I made this in
What do
like
you mean?
30 minutes.
Princess
said it?
Leia said it.
There you
Okay,
go.
cool. Got it.
What?
Come on, man.
It's Princess Leia in the thing. Well,
I'm
not this
actually-
picture.
You see-
but,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
but she's in the holo. Well, you can't really see her in this. Like that's
We know
that's
it's
bad
her.
visual effects, but we know it's her.
Bad visual. It was just like 70s.
All right, all right.
That still doesn't make it not bad. There are bad things
We
in the
got like
70s.
1 or 2 more questions left, so we'll just get to them real fast. Which of these is the Star Wars character?
No. Oh no. Oh no. Which of these is a Star Wars character?
Yes.
Let's break this.
Bonus points if you can name all 4 of them.
We're gonna move past that. You know what?
Take the physical challenge, Torian. Take the physical
Take the physical challenge.
Take the physical
I'll take dare. Not true. Okay. So that guy's a vampire. That guy's a wizard. I don't know what that guy is. But that guy, he looks like an old Jedi.
I see where you're going.
But C is too inconspicuous. Like, I feel like that's the trick, right? He might be an old Jedi. Old Jedi, wizard, vampire.
So which one are you going with?
I'm gonna go with, why does D look so familiar? What is he from? I'm gonna go with D.
D?
Yeah.
Nice job.
That's right.
Hey, you got it.
Wars.
Real quick.
He's right.
Hey, can you name any one of those actors?
Oh no,
Any one of them.
moving on.
Come on. No.
I can't name them. I don't know who they are.
How many actors was on
I barely know the actors in Fast and the Furious, and that's like my favorite stuff. All I know is Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez.
All right, well, we got to wrap this up. So let's go on to the, I think this is the last question.
They were all
Yep.
Christopher Lee, by the way.
You got to be able to give this one.
Were they
I
all
give you a
the same
freebie at the
person?
end.
Yes.
Yes.
That's creepy.
I give you an easy one at the end. Find
Exactly.
Chewbacca.
Oh, it's all Chewbacca, except the last one.
Except the last one.
Oh wait, no, that D one is Bigfoot. Yeah, you almost had me.
Have you seen Bigfoot before?
You almost. That's true. Damn.
So which one's Chewbacca?
Ben doesn't know that it's Bigfoot.
What?
What?
I'm gonna say every one of them except D.
You think all of those are
G.
Chewbacca?
Except
Except
he's
D,
eliminated.
G, obviously. He has 2 axes. Chewie doesn't use
That's
axes.
why he's not Chewbacca.
G. That's it. I'm gonna give them all.
Every other one is Chewbacca.
Is a Wookiee.
Is a Wookiee. But which one is Chewbacca?
See, that's not.
That's racist.
And that is racist.
That's racist.
Okay, H is Chewbacca. Can I get a ding every time I get one right? H is Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Chewbacca. Okay.
Okay.
H is Chewbacca. E is Chewbacca. Oh. Okay. A is Chewbacca. Oh. B is Chewbacca.
This is going on a lot longer than that.
Was there really only one? You tricked me! You son of a bitch! They all look like him!
That's racist. That's so racist.
Do you know who C is?
That's like you put.
He's not going to know who C
I don't
is.
know. I don't
Nobody
know
knows who C is.
I don't know who that is.
That's Lumbaka,
It's the Bigfoot.
otherwise known as Lumpy.
D's gotta be
Chewbacca's
These
son.
has to be. Can I get a ding? Is that Bigfoot?
Yes. Or at least
D is
one
big.
interpretation of Bigfoot
It has
holding
to be
around.
Bigfoot.
Terry and
That's what he
Henderson.
looks like.
Dog, that's what I was about. Which one is Bigfoot? Which is Harry and the Hendersons?
Man, what's the axe guy's name again?
No.
I was literally just about
You
to ask
learned
that.
this.
Who is G?
Okay.
Come on, you know who it
I
is.
set myself up for
You
that.
know who it is.
You
That's-
asked.
Fucking crazy. It's Gimli.
Yes. He still retains it. We're good.
It's a miracle.
I was about to say Ganon.
Yeehaw!
I was about to say.
I like that. I like that.
Gryffindor.
All right, that's it.
So did he pass?
Hey, was one of those wizards Gryffindor?
Wait, what?
We're not going back.
Don't.
We're not going back to the house.
Your score's going down.
Fucking house conversation.
Keep the score you got.
That was pathetic.
Was one of those wizards Gryffindor? Is that what y'all was trying to trick me? Weren't y'all?
It was the same dude.
Oh shit.
The same man played all those roles. You talking about Christopher Lee?
But he wants to know the name of the wizard.
Yeah.
Do you know what that wizard was from? Can we bring up that Christopher Lee one?
God damn it.
Was Christopher Lee in Oh no.
What's Gimli from?
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Okay. So is that Harry?
No.
No. Oh, that's the Lord of the Rings thing.
Yes.
Ah.
So what do you think that
Threw me
wizard-
off.
Is that wizard from Harry Potter or is that wizard from Lord of the Rings?
What's the wizard's name from Lord of the Rings?
There's a couple of them.
Yes, there are.
One of them
Oh,
is played
that's
by
not
Christopher
fair.
Lee. Why is that not fair?
There's multiple wizards. That can be anybody.
There are multiple Jedi in Star Wars.
It's the wizard played by Christopher Lee.
He only played one. he didn't play them all.
I don't know who Christopher Lee is.
How can you not?
I only know him from the Star Wars.
Well, next we need a
Who is he in
Christopher
Star
Lee trivia
Wars?
for Torian.
Nigga, just all his different roles.
You said what?
Who is he in Star Wars?
We're moving on. I know he's in Star Wars.
That's fair enough.
That picture's from Star Wars.
Gryffindor.
Oh my God!
From
All
Lord
right.
of the Rings.
Well, we need to wrap this up, but thank you for joining us for another trivia with Torian.
Yeah.
Tell him what he's
Not
won.
fair. You like Star Wars. This is like nothing that we like remotely follow.
You did better than.
You did fine.
Yeah, because of pop culture. Memes,
Sort of fine.
Twitter.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's how kids live their
That's the
lives
whole
today.
idea behind Trivia with Torian. Is
Gotcha.
that we present things that you should know through osmosis of popular culture.
Fair enough. That ship thing was not fair though.
Oh my God.
It didn't look like a bee.
I know,
That's true. That's
That was a
true.
trap.
He screwed.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry
he
about
definitely
that.
screwed
I
you on that one.
apologize.
I knew he was gonna
But,
do it too.
but
Akbar.
I was hoping that you would at least get Y-Wing. Like I set it up so that you should have been
knew-
able to get
For
Y-Wing.
the second,
But
I
it
thought, I
looks
was
like
he's gonna say
like
it
you
looks
said eight.
like the
Glad you said eight.
It looks like a tuning fork. So that's what I.
So
What does a
tuning
tuning
fork
fork
wing.
look like?
A
It don't
tuning
look
What
like
letter does that look
It looks like I guess it looks like a Y if you
Yes!
think about it, but it doesn't.
Think about it.
It doesn't. It's like a weird shape.
Tuning fork.
My favorite,
right.
my
Wing.
favorite was what number would the first one be of a second trilogy? That was.
Episode
All right. Well, we unfortunately don't have time to get to the fan art. There is some to look at, but we will save that for next week because we really need to get into our community death battle. So let's do that. It's time for the community death battle.
Trilogy is 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God, did you just
Trilogy is 3. So the
He's got it.
first episode of the second trilogy would be. Oh, I think he connected, and now he realizes why it's so
It's
ridiculous.
4.
Yes! He did it.
That was such a dumb thing.
Can we get that hee-haw thing again?
Who structured it like that? Someone who don't know how to count? Why would you wait?
Orion,
so
I
was
would
that-
not be casting
So
stones.
was that the fourth? Was that the like? And you said you used
The first one released.
You used the story example, right? So was that the fourth part of his story?
The first one released was episode 4.
Right.
In
was that
his-
the fourth part of his whole story?
Yes.
in the
In the
original
timeline,
draft?
yes.
Yes.
That's dumb.
Yes. There's a reason
I
for it.
mean,
That's dumb and old.
okay.
Dumb and old.
Again, I apologize. We don't have time to get through all the community art. We will definitely look through it all on next week's cast.
Oh my God.
But our community death battle, as requested by our intern Christina, or not intern anymore. She's
Yeah.
now working with Torian on 3D
Yeah.
animation, which is awesome. That's her.
Shit, we got a picture too.
Oh shit.
Grab
Yeah.
Twitter.
So thank you, Christina.
Where is she?
I don't know. That's just her Twitter profile.
Where is she?
She's up high somewhere.
She's
at Captain's
she's in the
Lantern.
upside down.
Yeah, thanks to her, we are doing Batman versus Inspector Gadget. And we have a couple answers from you guys to look at. And real quick, if you haven't voted in the live poll, if you're watching this live on Friday, you can go to it with the link that is in the chat right now. It's linked at the very top of the chat. Just click on that. Vote for whoever you think should win. And at the end of this discussion, we will look at the poll and see who wins. All right, so the first answer comes from Tarok. And he says that Batman, on Twitter, as much as I want to play devil's advocate, Batman stomps hard. Gadget has proven time and time again that he not only sucks at fighting and needed his niece to actually get the work done, but he's also basically Batman's utility belt. So go Bat get to win. Wait, sorry. So go Bat to get what?
Bat
So-
get to win this fight.
So
literally-
go Bat get to
Like
win.
Gadget.
this fight? For some reason,
Like Go-Go Gadget.
I got
literally-
dyslexic for a moment there. I thought it was
like, wrote that so you could stumble over it.
It was Admiral
All right,
Akbar.
and then we got an answer for Inspector Gadget from Kevin Jackson on Twitter as well, saying, I gotta give this fight to Gadget simply because he's way too unpredictable. I've seen him avoid death multiple times just by accident. He's taken bombs to the face and walked away like nothing happened. I don't know if Batman can handle that without prep. We just did check out the rules of Death Battle. That should apply here.
Yeah, and those rules hurt Batman real hard.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about that a lot. Batman's
Batman.
not the best Death Battle combatant. But that said, I am going to side with Batman on this one. Just
So?
because, like, yeah, at the end of the day, I know Gadget's got some wacky stuff, but, like, I just think Batman has, like, the tools to, like, he's gonna see, like, the copter pop out of his head and be like, oh, he's a fucking robot, or has, like, robot parts, and I think he'll, like, surge him with electricity. That's my plan.
Okay.
Has that ever happened to Gadget? Like, has anyone ever EMP'd him and then he couldn't do anything?
So, I just picture somebody just literally. This is back in the day. I don't think EMP was in our media, you know?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure there are episodes where his tech has been like shut down. But I don't quite know how, per se. Or
Well-
if Batman would have technology to do that.
If he doesn't have Penny and Brain, like, I don't think he's
Look,
gonna.
I get Batman's
make it.
Well, here
preparedness.
comes that outside help thing. Since Penny and Brain are really the ones who help Inspector Gadget with literally everything, do we include them?
Why not? They're always watching over him.
Yeah.
Like she has to. So she knows what he's
We can
up
throw
to.
Alfred into the mix for Batman to even it up. How about that?
Can we throw Alfred into the mix when he
Or
has
Oracle.
the Superman pill?
Yeah.
Because then I'm still siding with Batman.
Would Batman fight a little girl?
Better. He gets Penny and Brain, and Batman gets all of his vehicles.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, Inspector Gadget's dead.
Yeah, like, there's no way.
I'm gonna go with Inspector Gadget. I feel like Batman's gonna run out of gadgets, and Inspector Gadget is all gadgets. Like he just,
So does he have a limited number of gadgets?
don't think so.
Like can Inspector Gadget go
I have a list
Gadget,
here.
your dead parents?
like so
and
Batman.
Jesus.
use
Batman
that
has
to
to
disturb
have.
him.
Batman clearly has a utility belt, right? He
Okay.
doesn't have some space warp where he just pulls more gadget out. So he
Batman?
has a certain number of gadgets.
Batman does have a limited number. All of Inspector Gadget's, or at least most of them, I believe, are reusable. Here, I've got a list of his gadgets if you want me to just read through
It just
them.
seems
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
whatever situation Inspector Gadget is in, he has a gadget for.
He has a helicopter in his hat. His hat can also turn to a jackhammer. He's got a gadget phone in his hand, a gadget mobile,
Arms and legs
a
extend.
gadzuka, which I believe that's like a gun? I think it's some
bazooka.
kind of gun.
The bazooka.
Is it just a bazooka?
I think so.
He's got his coat, which can like
Coat stuff.
inflate. He's got the arms
even
which
more.
stretch. He's got the arm in the hat. He's got all sorts of things in the hat. He's got the jetpack, roller skates, a waterproof watch, boxing
yeah.
glove that also comes out of his hat, a hand that comes out of his hat, a finger flashlight, springs. He can basically just like
Yeah, he
make his
bounces
legs
around.
grow really, really tall.
Oh, this is a wash.
He's got an umbrella. He's got
Batman
a
ain't
siren.
like this.
He's got skis. There's a lot. He's got a screwdriver in his finger and a monkey catcher, apparently.
He used the
Doesn't
steam-
his finger also
and the-
shoot gas at one point?
He used the steam and
He's
the
got a
roller skate.
hairdryer,
Batman's done.
stretchy neck.
Batman's done.
He does have a gas mask. So if Batman throws any kind of pellets with gas in it, he can
Question,
avoid that.
Ben. Why the fuck does Inspector Gadget need a gas mask?
Because he's an android. He's like half
Yeah.
human, right?
He's like, yeah.
I thought he was all a robot.
He still has some organs.
Yeah, he's still a
He
dude.
doesn't have a brain.
Yes, he do.
Or is
No, I'm pretty sure they keep all the like
And he's at that
main
phone.
human organs.
I don't even know what that phone will do actually.
I don't
also
know. I
got
didn't watch the movies.
Pillow
got
fluffer.
AT&T?
Ooh, pillow fluffer.
Batman doesn't have that.
There's
Also lasers. he
There you
apparently
go.
just
Done.
has lasers.
Oh, lasers is good. I didn't think about that.
Batman,
didn't know
like,
that.
once he runs out of his gadgets, I feel like Inspector Gadget has a gadget for Batman's gadgets.
Batman's got hands.
And it wants to get, well, what are they gonna do against
Straight up.
Extendo Man over here?
Plus, also, if you're going by just pure hands, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
More.
like Batman's trying to karate him, and a fucking boxing glove come out his hat. Hit him on top
He
of
has
the head.
so many gadgets.
Yeah.
telling you,
He's even got crosshairs, like for a gun, but not on a gun. It's just
Yeah, it
straight
comes
up
down and-
crosshairs.
That's right.
Like just so he can to help him aim, I guess.
Yeah.
but again, he also has luck on his side because he's a bumbling
Wash,
idiot.
And he's a cartoon.
They both are some
The cartoon argument's strong.
I do think his durability might be greater than Batman's, just because of the
bombs.
specifically explosions he's taking point.
I think
blank.
Batman would overload him, at least incapacitate him that way, and then Batman could figure out how
All
it
right,
works.
so you're voting Batman?
Yes, voting Batman.
Torian?
I feel like Gadget has something for the overloading. Like, why wouldn't he? Why would they put all that in him and not have that safeguard?
So you're voting Inspector? Mm-hmm. Batman, Inspector Gadget.
It has to be Batman unless Inspector Gadget can go Gadget your dead parents, Bruce, and then that distracts him, and then he just kills him with
They
it.
just like just come out of his head and just.
But he's got
hang
them like on like little marionettes. That would freak anybody out. We love you. Yeah. That would fuck your head up. It's your fault. See, there you, because it is his fault.
Jesus
It is Bruce's fault. Let's keep it real. It's Bruce's fault. It's Bruce's fault.
I
they were
do
rich?
think Inspector Gadget would hold up surprisingly well against Batman because he has fought a lot of people kind of similar to Inspector, like evil versions of Inspector Gadget before, but with like less tech. So this is like a souped up version of some of his supervillains, but he's also kind of bumbling and less predictable. And I feel like Batman might have some trouble with that at first, but eventually he'd figure him out because that's just what Batman does and would win the fight. So I'm going to vote Batman.
Batman.
So we only got one Inspector Gadget
He's
and
gonna
Batman.
do a go-go Gadget oil slick, throw on the skis,
He's out of there?
over.
Like he just leaves the scene?
Yeah. It's gonna run. No, Batman's gonna slip on the oil. Can't karate.
Which will,
He got
of
a
course,
banana
kill
peel,
him
too.
instantly.
Does he got a banana peel?
He's gonna run him over with the skis and the roller skates.
Does he got a go Gadget blue
And finish
shell?
him off with a boxing glove.
All right, well let's bring up the poll and see what you guys had to say.
That's what I would do.
Come on in.
And the winner is, where's the poll? There it is.
Batman. Oh, that was actually
Surprisingly
way close.
That's not fair. It's Batman.
Wow, 53% to 43%. Batman takes this one. The last one was pretty close too with Deadpool and Mask.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for voting on the community death battle. We're going to be doing this basically from now on episodes which we don't have
for
to
next
pre-record. Unfortunately, we have to pre-record next week's death battle cast, so we will be going back to the Twitter voting system just for next week. And anytime we have to pre-record episodes in the future, schedules always, we're in Rooster Teeth. There are lots of people around here, so every so often schedules kind of conflict and we have to pre-record, but it's not all that often. So next week's, we will be posting this poll on Twitter over the weekend, will be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all of them, versus the Power Rangers. No Zords.
That's a wash.
So it's 4 versus 5.
That's a wash.
4v5. Which Power Rangers? Mighty Morphin?
The original 5.
So yeah, it is
Anymore.
4v5.
And this is requested by Anthony Lisa.
Or
Oh no.
do we incorporate Venus so it's 5v5?
I like it. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. To even it out, it's the Ninja Turtles plus Venus,
Who's Venus?
the girl Ninja Turtle
Ninja-
from
There's a girl Ninja
Live
Turtle?
action television
God, what was
show.
that called? I can't remember what it was called.
Out of the
Next
Ooze or
Mutation.
something? Next Mutation.
There's a girl Ninja Turtle?
Versus the 5 original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Does she really do stuff though? Like, can we put like Casey Jones or somebody who's gonna actually
No,
like?
it's gotta
Do
be
the Power Rangers get all their weapons?
That's true. What about-
Also, she's like a Chinese warrior kind of thing. She's trained
See,
to
I don't
be a
know about her.
samurai or something
Does
like
the
that.
Power
I don't
Rangers
know.
get all their weapons? Swords, guns, double
Yeah,
guns.
and they get all their
combined
weapons
guns?
and
Her
tech
color,
too.
for some reason, is also blue, but
It's like
lighter.
a light blue.
It's so many other colors to choose from.
Also, in that
got
show,
Rosie
in that show, they make sure to tell you that they are not biological siblings, so that they can all hit on her.
Yes.
And it's not awkward, even
Not at
though
all.
it totally is, because they're fucking turtles.
Don't turtles have weird dicks?
Yes, we've talked about that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
The hook things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that right now.
Get away.
I think the Ninja Power Rangers would
We didn't have. Did we have the Ninja Turtles?
That's
versus
how
Power
you beat
Rangers
the.
before?
That's
Maybe
how you
we
beat
did.
the
I don't know.
Power
whatever.
Rangers, man. You just whip out your scary ass dong and no.
Wait, was there ever like a crossover though, like episode?
There was, and that was actually the show with Venus, crossed over with Power Rangers in Space. I think it was one of the space ones. But we're specifically talking about the original 5 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mighty
Before Tommy came in, no Green Ranger.
Oh.
Right, because otherwise we're gonna just have to keep adding on to the turtle team.
Yeah,
Put Splinter.
just throw on Splinter, then throw in
Chrome Dome.
Alpha 5, and you throw in
Slash.
Yeah, Alpha 5 versus Chrome Dome. There you go.
yeah.
Ay ay ay.
Anyway, we will be posting that poll on Twitter over the weekend, so definitely check that out. Just go to the Screw Attack Twitter @ScrewAttack, and you can let us know who you think will win using the hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter, and then we will talk about that fight next episode, next week. And
We'll see you then.
that basically wraps the show up. If you want something more to do, there is a Desk of Death Battle out right now that you can go check out on
Why Ant-Man is
roosterteeth.com.
stupid.
Why Ant-Man is stupid. He's stupid. Why is Ant-Man stupid?
Watch the episode.
Just gotta watch it. All right, thanks for joining us, guys.